Chapter 10, page 279, there's a section called Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It's FERPA. This you probably need to read very thoroughly and make sure you understand. This one affects you. If you give out information wrongly to someone who didn't deserve information on the particular child or an instance that happened, then you could be sued. So this one is one of the important ones. In 1974, Congress passed the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, which also is called the Buckley Amendment. I hear more FERPA than I do Buckley, but I have heard some folks use Buckley Amendment. It's still the same thing. I'm sure you're familiar more with FERPA because if you go to the doctor and you're 18 years of age, if Daniel's 18 and goes to the doctor, I can't call and get his results to stuff. That's him. It's FERPA. The statute addresses the maintenance of confidentiality of student records. There are 3 requirements of FERPA. First, permitting parental access to records, informing parents of their rights, and then parental permission before disclosure of information. So you don't want to disclose anything to anybody until you make sure the parents are okay with that. We actually I had a issue with FERPA, Buckley Amendment. I don't know, probably year 1 after I came back from being off with the kids. Had a mother who was not very engaged with her son. Dad had been in prison but got out during the school year and decided he wanted to be a part of the boy's life again. The boy needed some strong guidance. He needed a parent to step up and help him get in line. And so Dad came and I ran copies of the child's grade cards and progress reports and whatever else I had. The mother had a fit, came down a couple hours later and had a conniption fit, and told the principal that I had disclosed information that I wasn't supposed to, and she was going to sue. Well, we get out the permanent record, and there's nothing on there that says Dad does not have rights or no custody, or in the permanent record there was no legal sheet saying he did not have access to information. Now, where it gets sticky is if you've got a child who is under some type of protective custody, where one parent has full custody, you're going to have to make sure that it is okay to share that information. It's sad to me that Mom and Dad can't get along well enough that they wouldn't want to work together regardless. If Rusty and I get to where we can't live together, that's fine. But when it comes to the kids, we ought to be able to put our heads together and forget about how I feel toward him, how he feels toward me, and work toward the best of that student. So, come to find out, I was under the law. I had abided by the law, and Dad had every right to those documents, even though she was saying that I have full custody. He's not supposed to have it. So the principal said, as soon as you go out and get that document and bring it back, we'll put it in the permanent records, and this will not happen again. I can promise you. Well, she didn't have papers. It was her word against the dad's. If there's no court papers, it doesn't matter if I'm in there screaming, I'm the one, I get it, Dad is not supposed to get anything. If there's not written documentation, legal documentation saying that, then it is not valid. Dad has as much right to that information as Mom does. So please be careful. Read this one and make sure you understand it. Make sure you're not giving, you're not supposed to be talking to Aunt Barbara about what Bobby's doing, or, you have to be very careful. You can't release any information. Confidentiality, again, even when you're using their name, make sure you don't use both names. Change the name even. Do whatever it takes to make sure you're abiding by FERPA.